I yield 5 minutes to my friend, colleague, the chairman of the Readiness Subcommittee on the Armed Services Committee, the gentleman from Texas, Mr. Ortiz.
Gentleman from Texas is recognized for 5 minutes.
Mr. Speaker, request unanimous consent to revise and extend my
Without
remarks.
objection.
I rise in support of this bipartisan resolution. And you know, I could ask a question, were we ready to go to war? I don't think so. I just want to put a little of the history of Iraq in context. And we probably remember this name: Specialist Edgar Hernandez, Specialist Joseph Hudson, Specialist Georgia Johnson, PFC Jessica Lynch, PFC Patrick Miller, and Sergeant James Riley. They were all members of the 507th Maintenance Company that went missing after an Iraqi ambush in Nasiriyah on March 23, 2003. They were a maintenance company. They weren't supposed to be in front of the infantry. And of course, we understand this is war, and there's a confusion. They were taken prisoners. But again, this illustrates for us, again, that we were not ready for this war from the beginning. We went in with too few soldiers, who, by the way, were not greeted with flowers or parades. This administration went against the recommendations of the Chief of Staff of the Army, General Shinseki, who said, you know what, we need no less than 250,000 troops to overwhelm the enemy. So what happened? We went with less than that. What was the goal? To go straight to Baghdad. And we left the left flank, the right flank completely open. Not only that, with thousands of ammunition dumps all over the place in Iraq. You know what? They were ready for war. They were ready for us, but we were not ready for them. Because a lot of things went wrong in this war. The intelligence was flawed, it was wrong. And my friend, I am saying this because we cannot afford to make another mistake such as this. I was just at a hearing about an hour ago, 2 hours ago. And let me read to you what the Chief of Staff of the Army, Schumacher, what he said just a few moments ago. He says, after years of insufficient investment in the Army, many of our units were under-equipped and not ready for deployment, especially in our reserve units. To meet combatant commanders' immediate wartime needs, we pulled equipment from across the force to equip those soldiers deploying into harm's way. A practice that we are continuing today to meet current operational needs. My friends, we're at war. We support our soldiers. The men and women in uniform are in dangerous places around the world to do their duty on behalf of all of us, military and civilian, Republicans, Democrats, and independents. This resolution is very simple. Congress and the American people will continue to support and protect the members of the United States Armed Forces who are serving or who have served bravely and honorably in Iraq. And Congress disapproves of the decision of the President of the United States, George W. Bush, who announced on January 10, 2007 to deploy more than 20,000 additional United States combat troops to Iraq. Now, it's going to take more than 20,000, 21,000 soldiers. You've got to send support troops. So I think, you know, sometimes I wonder whether if we could just pause or take time off, you know, so that we could regroup or correct the mistakes. But you can't do that when you're in the middle of two wars. This is a different mission. and we ask our soldiers to do the best that they can. And then we ask, and we say that we need for the Iraqis to stand up so we can stand down. My friends, if we cannot even equip our military, how can we expect
Gentleman's time
to
has
equip the
expired.
Iraqis so that they can stand up?
The gentleman
Thank you
from
so much, and I
Texas.
give back the balance of my time.